Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Gemini, you are up for the 2022 Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. As I always tell people in any tarot card reading, whether it's for the collective, a specific sign, or an individual, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it is not your story, don't try to make it fit. All right, Gemini, this is what's going on, some of the energy I was picking up doing the pre-shuffle, and I'm using a lot of decks here. Some of the energy that I was picking up is that you're focused on foundations, like building very, very solid foundations in 2022. You're paying attention to the details. Also, something said to me a little bit earlier before I started recording is that some of you may actually be considering, or you've already started building a custom home, and you're in the beginning stages where you're doing the blueprints and you're looking to make sure the foundation is right and things of that nature, an actual physical foundation. But others of you, you will be paying attention to the details. I see a celebration. Some will definitely move into a home. I honestly feel like a home is on some of your minds right now. And I can tell you the real estate market will be very interesting in 2022. However, don't let that deter you. If you have it on your mind that you want to buy a home and you have the resources to do so, and you've already planned everything out and you have backup plans and so on and so forth, then you have to follow what's on your spirit and do that. But I'm really picking up, some of you will be celebrating moving into a new home, as in an actual home, for the first time. Or you're moving from one home into another one. So some of you may already live in an apartment, but you're moving into a home and a house now. Also, you will be paying attention to your finances as well. You're going to keep an eye on your finances. I'm not saying that you're looking at holding back spending money. I honestly believe that you will be open to purchase whatever you feel you need to purchase. It's just, I think that you're going to do there is something where it's like they say, wait 30 seconds or wait 1 minute or wait a day before the purchase. It's almost like you might be in that energy in 2022 for some of you, where if you see something and even though you can afford it, you might say to yourself, you know what? Let me wait a day or two and see if I still feel like buying this. And then after the day or two passes, you may be like, I don't want that now. Or you may say, oh yeah, still want it. Let me go ahead and get it. It might be some of that type of energy is what I'm picking up. So that's going on. Also, some of you will be changing your occupation as well. There will be a focus on that. Some of you may feel that a change in occupation will bring in better stability. So that will be going on too as well. I'm pulling energy. As for contracts could be signed in 2022. That could go to a mortgage, but I don't feel like this is just specific to a house. There may be a contract in the sense of marriage. Some of you may be considering marriage in 2022. Maybe things have slowed down now where you didn't have the opportunity to get married or to propose or to do this or to do that beforehand, but in 2022, the right moment will present itself where you have the option to go ahead and get married. Some of you, you may have already proposed, you just hadn't set a wedding date yet, or someone proposed to you and a wedding date has not been set yet. And now in 2022, everything is being made official. I'm thinking of contracts that way as well. I do see some family situations. Some of it may be with, I don't want to say spying, but some may be where family, they're just nosy, to put it directly. Where you may have family members who are nosy, and something just said to me that you may deal with some family members that are not acting their age. So let's say that they're 40 or 50, they're acting like they're 15 or 16. So just keep that in mind too. Some of that might be going on. That's the energy from the pre-shuffle. Now, I'm using the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck. I will pull 12 cards from that deck. I will pull 4 cards from the Kipper deck. I will pull 1 card from the Angels of Atlantis Oracle deck. I will pull 2 cards from the Divine Doors deck. And I will pull clarification cards, if needed, from my Essential Tarot deck. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this, Gemini. And you may hear some music in the background. So just a heads up on that. May I have the energy for the sign of Gemini for 2022? May I have the energy for the sign of Gemini for 2022? And like I said before, some of you are definitely moving. Some of you may be moving because of an investment, where an investment comes in. That actually happened with Taurus too, where that energy came out. An investment comes in, and that investment gives you the ability to put a down payment on a home or to move. So that could be happening as well. Just want to throw that out there. And I also see stability too. May I have 12 cards, please? Thank you. May I have some more cards, please? Thank you. Yeah, Gemini, I can already tell you're gonna have to put your foot down with some of this in 2022. People, you're gonna be tested. People are gonna test you, because I have 2 cards that deal with standing for what you believe in. And I'll go into this in a minute. May I have some more cards, please? But yeah, you're going to be tested. People are going to test you. This might be a situation where they're used to you saying yes, and now it's this one time where you say no, and they try to get you to change your mind. Thank you. But someone or a group of people may be looking to test you in 2022, because they're so used to you being the what's the word I'm looking for? I hate to say go along to get excuse me. I hate to say go along to get along. And that just happened when I had to clear my throat. Something said to me about not having a voice, where you usually don't speak up on things. You sort of just let it slide. But this time around, you're not going to let it slide in 2022. You're not letting it slide this time around. And some people are going to be hurt. They're going to be in their feelings about it. May I have some more cards, please? Thank you. They're going to feel like they're left out in the cold. Thank you. This is a little bit similar to Taurus, but different in the way of Taurus. When I did their reading just a second ago, it was like success after success after success after success. It was like back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Nothing but just, if you might have Taurus in your chart, you can check that out. Taurus's reading has been the best reading thus far. And their situation was they're being flushed with all of this abundance. And because they're being flushed with all of this abundance, they have to be mindful of the people that they deal with. In your situation, this is different. You're stable, but you're in the beginning stages of stability, is what I'm picking up. Like I said, you're dealing with the foundation. With Taurus, it's like everything just rushes in at once from their reading. Yours, you're building the foundation. And you don't want anything that is weak in your orbit, because the foundation is everything. If something is weak, if you have a pillar that's weak, or if you have a foundation that's uneven, anything involving the foundation that throws it off, the building will collapse. Whatever it is that's being held up, it will collapse. You're putting a lot of effort into, a lot of things are under scrutiny right now, or will be under scrutiny in 2022. Everyone is going to be under scrutiny by you, where you are serious about this foundation. Whatever it is that you're looking to build, you don't want any weak parts of the foundation. And weak in the sense of whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's a romance with a partner, whether it's a job. You want everything to fit just right, and you want it to be equal give and take on all levels. On all levels. You don't want it where you have to give more than what someone else is giving. You don't want to have to give more than what someone else is giving on your job. You don't want to have to give more than what someone else is giving in your family. You don't want to have to give more than what someone else is giving in your romance. You don't want to give more than what someone else is giving in your friendships. All of this is about scrutinizing. Everyone is under, like they're going to be under the magnifying glass in 2022. Anyone that wants to be in your orbit, or anyone that is currently in your orbit, you are about to put them through the third degree. You're going to be looking at every single thing. Like it's a, how can I put this? Universe, I know what I want to say, but I can't get it out. It's almost like a painter, like a Renaissance painter, where every little detail makes a difference. Every little detail has to be right. If anything is off, then you'll just feel the painting is not going to work. So every little detail has to be right. And anyone who is in your orbit or that wants to come into your orbit, you will pay attention to every little detail. And I'm just throwing out examples here. Let's say that you're a person who prefers someone text you back in a reasonable amount of time. So if you start to get to know someone and you start texting them and you notice that, okay, they're not good at texting you. You may bring it to their attention, and if they don't improve, you're going to remove them. You'll just straight up remove them from your orbit, is what you will do. If you notice that someone wants to be your friend, and every time you go out, they're asking you to pay, or they never have any money. And the one time you ask them, can they pay? Then they're like, oh, no, I can't, but I'll do it next time. And the next time comes around and they still don't do it. That type of stuff. If someone isn't dependable, if someone can't be part of this sturdy and what's the other word? Sturdy, and I'll say strong. If someone can't be part of the sturdy and strong foundation of what you're building throughout your personal growth, professional growth, those type of things, then you don't want any parts of it in 2022. And when you make it clear to people that you don't want any part of it, you don't want any part of them, it will throw some people off, is what will happen. So just keep that in mind too. But you have a lot of new opportunities coming in, and also you're closing out some cycles. There's also some travel here. May I have another card, please? Thank you. Yeah, you're going to be working on your craft and paying attention to the details. Going back to what I said before about an investment paying off, there may be an investment paying off for you where something comes in off of the work that you did in the past, is what I'm seeing. May I have some more cards, please? Wow. Okay, all of these just fell out. And I'm going to take all of them. Yeah, Gemini, this was more than 12, but that's fine. And something's telling me to get this card that was left. Yeah, it's about stability. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So these are the cards that's going on here. I have the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is fire energy. This is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. You could be dealing with one of those signs, but honestly, I feel that you're embodying this energy in 2022. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. 9 of Wands is the person who is ready to fight, and fight in a good way, not physically fight, but as in they're going to go ahead and protect what is theirs. They're willing to defend what is theirs. They're willing to not give up. I also feel that as you're crafting this masterpiece, and that's sort of like what you're doing right now, is that you're crafting a masterpiece. That's what this foundation is for the bigger picture. The foundation is the start, but you have a bigger picture in your mind in 2022. And you know that you can't create this bigger picture without the right foundation. You can't get this masterpiece that you want without the right foundation. So you're going to be in 9 of Wands energy where you're willing to defend what you believe in. You're willing to keep going. You're going to go the distance. The card that follows is the 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is earth energy. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You could be dealing with one of those signs, but I don't see that. Some of you actually could be in some type of craft work with the Three of Pentacles coming out. But there's an attention to detail. Like I said, you're really going to be about the details. And anything that doesn't fit what you believe will bring your masterpiece to life, you're not going to be bothered with it. Also, Three of Pentacles can be recognition. It can also be contracts too. So going back to the home thing, you could, like I said, and I'm still on this thing. I honestly feel like some of you might be having a custom home built. I really, really do. For others of you, you may be recognized at your job for the work that you're doing in 2022 because it's really, really great work. For others of you, if you're an artist, like a painter, a sculptor, a fashion designer, a musician, a writer, I honestly feel like this may be something with your hands, is what I feel like. I don't necessarily feel like this is something with your voice. I feel like this is something more hands. Maybe you build furniture or you do something else. Something with your hands where you're really good at it and you're being recognized for it. In addition to that, the Seven of Wands came out. Seven of Wands is, again, standing up for yourself. You're standing your ground in 2022. In previous situations where you didn't say anything, where you didn't have your voice. In 2022, if you could not find your voice before, you will find it in 2022 and you'll say what needs to be said, is what I'm picking up. You have the Page of Wands, lots of fire energy here. There's going to be a lot of passion going on. And I said Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, wrong one. Ace of Wands. With the Ace of Wands, it's going to be a passionate new beginning and a new opportunity. Also, it could be related to love as well. Don't forget, I had mentioned before that I see some people possibly getting married. That could be a thing. So maybe you will meet someone in 2022 and it's a passionate romance. It starts off really, really good. Three of Swords is air energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Three of Swords can be extreme heartache or sadness. It can also be about personal growth too, because Three of Swords is a challenging energy and you can find yourself growing from those challenges, is what you can see. Because as they always say, comfort and growth are not friends. You may be in some uncomfortable situations. You speaking up after you're calling people to the carpet, after you are analyzing and looking at the people around you that you feel may be part of your foundation, if you feel that they do not pass the test, it's going to create some heartache. I don't feel like this is necessarily yours. Five of Pentacles followed the Three of Swords. Five of Pentacles can be about money issues. I'm not picking that up. Five of Pentacles can also be about being left out in the cold. And that is, I'm picking that up more where you're calling people to the carpet is what you're doing. And if they do not meet your standards, then that's it. You're going to leave them out. The World followed the Five of Pentacles. The World can be about recognition, going back to what I said before, with the Three of Pentacles. There could be some type of recognition for your work. Also, the World is about completing a cycle. The World can also be about traveling. Some of you may have to travel in 2022 in regards to your profession. Or some of you may just decide to travel because you want to relocate. Because Ace of Wands is also a travel card too. Some of you, something just said to me, some of you may be leaving some people behind when you move if you relocate to another area, like from a distance away. And they're sad that you're leaving. But you're doing it because you feel you can build a better foundation in a different location. So I feel some of that too. 8 of Pentacles followed the world. That's about focusing on your craft. This is about work, is what it is. Some of you may go back to school or either, take like some type of certification. Some of you could do a mentorship as well in 2022. But I'm really seeing this as you're becoming the best you that you can be in your profession. Whatever your profession is or whatever you're passionate about. If you're passionate about singing, you're becoming the best singer you can be. If you're passionate about building furniture, you're becoming the best furniture builder you can be. If you're passionate about customer service, you're being the best customer service agent you can be, is what you're doing. You're perfecting your craft. The next card that came out is the 5 of Wands. You have a lot of fire energy. You have the Ace of Wands, 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 5 of Wands. This is going back to what I said before about conflict. Some of the people around you are going to feel like you just totally flipped the script. They're going to be like, what happened to you? There's going to be some conflict. When you finally start speaking up, or when you finally start calling people to the carpet and putting them under the magnifying glass to see if they pass the test to be part of your foundation, it's going to cause some conflict. For those around you, I honestly feel they're used to you not saying much. And again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. They're used to you not saying much. And I really feel with all of this fire energy, because we have 4 cards, fire energy. You will be very passionate about what you're doing and what you believe in. And you're so passionate that you can't hold it in anymore. You can't hold in how you feel or what you think about something anymore. Usually, you think before you speak and you choose your battles very carefully. This time around, it's not that you're being reckless. You're just setting boundaries and you're being honest in letting people know. The card that follows the 5 of Wands is the King of Wands. This is more fire energy. This is someone who takes control. The King of Wands is very ambitious. Also, the King of Wands can deal with public speaking too. And they have a vision. The King of Wands is one of the architects of the tarot deck. So you have this vision in your mind, this masterpiece of how you want things to come together. And you're realizing that in order to create this masterpiece, you can't be silent any longer, is what you're doing. And once you take control, you'll be able to celebrate. 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You may have a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in your orbit, or you may have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in your chart. But with 3 of Cups energy, it's about celebration. I honestly feel that when you break free, because the card after that is the Devil card. When you break free of toxic relationships, after the cycle is closed out, don't forget the World card is about closing out cycles. As you break free of toxic relationships, relationships that are meant for you will then be ushered in by the universe, is what I feel will happen. And the card that follows the Devil card is the 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is about juggling. sometimes it can be about doing too much, but I don't feel that's the case with this. I honestly feel like you're learning how to balance dealing with people. You're learning how to balance all of your lives. You're learning how to balance your work life, your love life, your family life, and your personal life, your friendships and stuff. You're learning how to do it, because on this particular card, you have a guy that is on a tightrope or on a rope on a ship that's on crazy water. And he's juggling without an issue. And then he has the infinity symbol on his shirt. So you're balancing things. Also, you're making sure that your money stays balanced. Something just said to me that some of your friendships, especially after this devil energy, some of your friendships drained your money, which also affected your stability too. And something else just said to me that some of your friendships affected your work product. Where in 2022, as you move away from some of those friendships that no longer serve you, that will actually be a benefit to your work product. It will increase the quality of your work product, is what will happen. And you're going to be recognized for it. So the foundation will be very stable. The final card that came out, and this can go back to family and marriage, like I said before, celebration, is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is the creme de la creme of all of the Cups cards. And it's about a happy marriage. It's the happily ever after. This is, in there's usually a rainbow, which is always a good sign. And in this card, there is a rainbow. The Ten of Cups is usually about children and about family. If any of you are looking to start a family in 2022, this card is a confirmation saying that the energy is there for that to happen. So you could have marriage and then starting the family all in 2022. This is the you can have it all emotionally card. This is emotional abundance on steroids, where your heart is full. You have a loving relationship with your children. In addition to that, something is saying to me, as some cycles are closed out that are considered toxic, not cycles, I'll say relationships. Well, cycles and relationships. As some cycles and relationships are closed out, other cycles and relationships will become stronger. For example, if you were dealing with someone that was taking your energy and it just wasn't good for you, you removed them from your life in 2022. That energy that you were putting into them, that can go into a relationship that you weren't putting that much energy in. Maybe you weren't getting along with your mother or your father or your cousin or your auntie or your brother or your sister or your coworker. As the toxic cycles and energy falls off you in 2022, it gives you more energy to strengthen the relationships that are meant to be in your life, to strengthen the cycles that are meant to be in your life, to strengthen the foundation that is meant for your masterpiece to be created on. That's what I'm seeing here. Let me go ahead. I'm going to take 4 cards from the Kipper deck and see if there's anything that stands out that you... Yeah, when I split the deck, child, somebody's going to get pregnant. Either someone's going to get pregnant or they are looking to have a child. So I can tell you that now. And something just said to me with the occupation that some of you might be afraid that your work may interfere with you getting pregnant, or your work may interfere with you raising your child, don't worry about that. Let the universe handle it. That's not for you to worry about. May I have 4 cards, please? What are 4 things Gemini needs to know? Thank you. May I have 3 more cards, please? May I have 3 more cards, please? Wow. Whoa. Wow. Okay, may I have 1 more card, please? Gemini. I'm going to take 1 more card. I'm going to tell you what's going on. Yeah. Be careful who you hang around. Be careful who you hang around. Let me see. May I have that one wanted to jump out? I'm not going to take it. If it's meant for it to come out, it'll come out. May I have 1 more card, please? May I have 1 more card, please, for Gemini? What's 1 more thing Gemini needs to... Thank you. Child again. Yeah, there's a child involved in 2022. Let's see here. Gemini, all right. This is kind of interesting. The first card that came out is Great Fortune. That's the first card that came out of the Kipper deck. So that's something you need to know about 2022, Great Fortune. So whatever you're building, this foundation, it's going to bring in a lot of stability. So Great Fortune. This is the crazy thing. The second card that came out is Thief. Second card that came out was Thief. The third card that came out was Imprisonment. Fourth card that came out, like I said before, is Child. And that's twice that Child showed up. Some of you, first of all, something just came to me. And I have to say it as it comes. If it comes to me, I got to say it. Be careful if you have a child already. Be careful if you are in a situation where there's a custody issue. Something just said that to me. Where don't, whether you're male or female, don't take the child without the proper paperwork in place. And don't assume that if you do without the proper paperwork in place, that nothing will happen. Something else just said to me that for somebody, if you owe child support and you haven't been paying it, when you come into the money, if you don't pay it, you could end up in jail with this imprisonment card. Just to give an example, let's say that you owe $10,000 in child support and you come into $20,000 and the state wasn't able to get it, or the Fed, however it works in whatever state or whatever the federal level is. I'm not a licensed attorney. They can work out all that stuff. But long story short, you come into that money and for whatever reason, the institution, state or federal institution that usually gets it wasn't able to get it. You go and spend that money and you no longer have it. And then they find out that you spent all that money, but you owed X amount of dollars in child support. That could land you in jail, is what I'm picking up. For others of you, this great fortune, Gemini, where you're building something, you're keeping people under a magnifying glass in 2022. You're looking at everything everyone is doing. don't feel guilty about that, because someone may approach you that is looking to take your money. And there even could be a situation where someone does take some of your money and then you find out about it and they end up in jail. You have to press charges, is what you have to do. And I hate to say this, but something else just came to me too. And, you know, when it comes to these messages as they come to me, I don't always like saying them, but they come to me for a reason. Just like the cards come out for a reason. Also, if you have a substantial amount of money, whether it's now or whether you come into a substantial amount, and by substantial amount, I mean as in 7 figures or whatever, then make sure that if you have a child, you don't let your child out of anyone's sight that you don't trust. And what I mean by that is, if you can't watch your child, make sure that someone you trust a lot watches your child or children, because someone may use your child to extort you for money. That message came to me. They may use your child to extort you for money. They may try to steal your child to get money from you. And I don't like that message, but the message is the message. I'm trying to see if I'm picking up anything else. Something else just said to me, going back to the so-called friends in conflict and stuff, be careful what contracts you sign in 2022. Where you're doing business with someone and you thought that you looked over everything, you thought you crossed every T, you thought you dotted every I, and then there was some funny business going on, maybe a business partner or something, and then you find out that they stole some money, and then both of you end up in jail because both your names are on there, which could also affect your child if you have a child or children. Something said that to me too, as well. As a matter of fact, someone may be sort of targeting you to be the fall person for some type of scam they want to run, where they're going to try to go into business with you, and then a lot of money's going to be made, and then they're going to do something with the money, and then they're going to attempt to pin it on you. That's going to happen as well. Also, another energy I'm picking up is that some of those people who you may have to cut off, they might attempt to plot on you later to figure out ways to get your money. This great fortune that you come into. And something just said to me, be careful about leaving your belongings out. Like if you have a bracelet or something, especially for females, if you have a bracelet with flowers, be careful, like the jewelry and stuff. You be careful who you leave that out around. You may think that someone doesn't have sticky fingers, but they actually do. And some of you may find that out later on, that someone where you thought a bracelet was missing, or some earrings were missing, or some cufflinks were missing, just little certain things were missing, and then you find out they had actually took it from you as well. Also, they could have taken something from your child too. If you buy your child things that of value, because sometimes kids have expensive things too, or things that can be considered of value, because believe it or not, something as simple as Legos are considered of value, because Legos are usually, they end up being collector's items before it's all said and done. So be careful who you have around your children. Be careful the children around your children as well. Something told me to tell you that. Because the other child may have sticky fingers. 2. I'm trying to see if anything else is coming up. And when it comes to romance, don't feel guilty about running a background check on someone. Something just said that to me. Don't feel guilty about running a background check on someone or them and their family. That was just said too. Where if you meet someone, let's say that they have a child, don't feel guilty about running a background check on them and their child or them and their entire family if it needs to be done. And especially if you're someone who has a good bit of money. Also, something just said to me, don't feel guilty about asking someone to sign a prenup. 2. And don't feel insulted if someone asks you to sign a prenup before you get married. Because I can tell you right now, some of the energy that I'm picking up, if someone asks you to sign a prenup, it doesn't have anything to do with you. They were actually in a bad relationship before. And I don't even think they got married to the person. I honestly think they were close to getting married to the person, but some type of information came out at the last minute. And it's sort of like, you know, what's that Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce? Thank God I dodged the bullet. I honestly feel like it was that type of situation for them, you know, male or female, whoever, where they discovered some information at the last minute and they didn't have a prenup at that time, and had they gotten married and then it didn't work out, they would have lost their money, and it was sort of like their wake-up call. So if someone asks you to sign a prenup, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's because of an experience they had before. And they're looking out for their stability. And vice versa. If you have to ask someone to sign a prenup, and maybe you were the one who had a situation where you were close to marrying someone before, and you found out at the last minute some stuff that you were like, oh, can't marry this person. And then it hit you as like, wow, I would have married them without a prenup. That could be going on too. Regardless, if there's any type of marriage going on, don't be upset if a prenup is brought up as well. When it comes to the child, I'm not picking up anything in regards to custody. I know about the child support thing, but as for any type of custody battles, I'm not picking that up. That I'm not really picking up. I honestly feel like this is going to be a baby on the way. I really, really feel that. I honestly feel that because all four of these things, they could be related or they could be totally separate things with the cards that came out. But one thing that I'm picking up is that if someone really wants a child in 2022, 2022 will be the perfect year for you to have one. It's going to be the perfect year. Even if you've been trying for a while, I can see pregnancy happening for that. All right, let me go ahead and get 2 cards from the Divine Doors. What are 2 things that Gemini needs to know? What are 2 things that Gemini needs to know for 2022? But I'm confident, Gemini, that you'll make the right choice in 2022. I really, really am. You're creating a masterpiece. Thank you. May I have one more card, please? Is what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're creating a masterpiece. The masterpiece is having it all. So you're creating your masterpiece. May I have another card, please? Thank you. All right. The first card that came out is offerings. It says abundance lies in the heart that allows, share more than expected, and see love come around. So this is just saying, it's interesting that great fortune came out and then offerings. Don't be stingy, but use discernment. You don't want to give all your money away at the same time. And especially with the Four of Pentacles being the foundation for all of this, you don't want to hold on to your money so tightly that no money is going out. So don't be stingy. Don't be afraid to donate, give to charity or to help a friend out from time to time. Now, I'm not saying go into a codependent relationship or be the person that's constantly giving, because honestly, with this energy, with all this fire energy, I feel like you're at this point, Gemini, because some of the relationships that you've been in, you've been constantly giving, and the foundation is not stable. Things have to change. So I'm not saying overgive. I'm just saying don't forget to give. All right. Second card, heart healing. Mourning now has had its time. Do not pay it a single dime. Emerge from the darkness. A new day starts. Let light embrace the healing heart. Going back to the Three of Swords, which can be extreme heartache. If any of you are dealing with an issue in 2022, don't stay stuck in that energy forever. Don't stay sad forever. Because if you stay stuck in that energy, you're going to bring more of that energy in, is what will happen to you. So you want to keep on moving forward. Take your time to, if you need to shed a tear, if you need to cry it out for a minute, or scream, or whatever, then, or rest, or hide away from the world for, a day or two, go ahead and do that. But after it's all said and done, you need to get back out there and let your heart begin to heal. And do that. Something just said to me, if any of you lost a child, it's going to get better. If any of you lost a child, it's going to get better. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. If you lost a child now, and you're still in the grieving process as you're listening to this, it's going to get better. It really, really is. It will get better. And also, I feel it's a possibility that another child may be on the way. And that might be a surprise. And it's something just said to me, even if you are unable to have kids, you may end up with a child in another way. Like in a surprise way, in a roundabout way. So, and again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That was the message that came. So I'm just delivering the message. So if any of you lost a child, you might be getting a child in a roundabout way in 2022. If you can't have kids anymore, don't think, oh my God, I can't have kids anymore, I'll never have another child. The universe has a way of surprising people. And the universe always knows better than you do. And just a heads up, the universe does not tell all of its plans. The divine does not tell us every single thing that the divine is up to. And that's how the surprise comes in. And the surprise is usually in the form of a blessing. So, for those that what I'm saying that resonates with, in 2022, don't be surprised if you end up with a child. And obviously, if you've lost a child, no one can ever take the place of a child that's lost. And anyone that's lost, it doesn't have to be a child, even though technically we're all someone's child. But if there was someone that was lost at a young age, clearly they cannot be replaced. What I am saying is that the universe might be sending something your way in 2022 that's going to help your heart heal. And it could be another child in a roundabout way. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up on, that energy. All right, let me get one of the oracle cards from the Angels of Atlantis deck. All right. Let's see. What is the message for Gemini? What is the message for Gemini? What's the final message for... Okay. Enchantment. All right. This is Angel Michael. All right. Let me get my book here. I'm getting my book, Gemini. Let's see. Michael. All right. Enchantment. It says, Michael asks you to remember the magic of your life by connecting with the path of the enchanted. Is magic missing from your life, or are you aware of the lack of imagination in your creative purpose? Allow the divine joy of the child within you. Wow. This child card. The child within you. Isn't that crazy that the child card kept on coming out? The child within you. I'm going to start over. Wow. Michael asks you to remember the magic of your life by connecting with the path of the enchanted. Is magic missing from your life, or are you aware of the lack of imagination in your creative purpose? Allow the divine joy of the child within you to reconnect with the free flow fun that was once present in your innocence. This is a doorway to the numinous. With this card, the unicorn's magical horn touches your soul with the love of its... All right, this is a new word for me. I haven't seen this. Okay. Perspicacity. Compelling, eternal, and especially wise about the divine light within you. When it shines, the charisma of your soul magnetizes all people to you. So with this card is saying some of you need to get in touch with your inner child. Some of you need to get in touch with your inner child and tap into that innocence. Tap into that enchantment. It's crazy that child was one of the cards that came out twice. Because don't forget, when I split it, child was showing. And then when I was doing the pulling of the cards, child came out. So this is a confirmation. Some of you need to get in touch with your inner child. There's actually a song. If you get a chance, go online and type in on YouTube, Shanice, Keep Your Inner Child Alive, and listen to that song. Listen to the song. Or you can go online and type in Shanice, Keep Your Inner Child Alive, and type lyrics right after it and pull the lyrics, because that just came to me. And it starts off by saying, always believe in yourself. Keep your inner child. Hold on. You know what? Better yet, Gemini, give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and pull it now because I'm in front of my laptop. Shanice, keep your inner child alive. Lyrics. Because clearly someone needs to hear this. All right. It says, always believe in yourself. Shine a light from your highest dreams. Always believe in yourself. Keep your inner child alive. It's really, really short. It's like a 1 minute, 26-second intro. But that's what it is. And I'm going to say it again. Always believe in yourself. Shine a light from your highest dreams. Always believe in yourself. keep your inner child alive. So someone needed to hear that. But I still feel like you're crafting your masterpiece. That's honestly what I feel like you're doing in 2022. All right, Gemini, this is all I have for you. kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. kirwkc on all the social media platforms. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and, as I said, several other podcasting platforms. Until next time, Gemini, be blessed.